And hello, race fans, and welcome to another Saturday night edition of the Integrity Racing League right here on ETV Live broadcasting service at the Richmond International Raceway, located in Richmond, Virginia. Always a fun night of short track racing when we come to the Richmond Raceway. My name is Chad Dalton, otherwise known as Cadillac Dalton, and I am joined in the booth, as always, by my good friend and partner in crime, Trevor Cameron. What's up, Trevor?
Oh, not much, Chad. Just getting ready for an exciting bit of racing here. Some short track racing at night underneath the lights, so it should be a good bit of racing here. I noticed these trucks are awfully loose coming out of 3 and 4 there, so I'm guessing we're probably going to be seeing a little bit of crunched up metal here before the night's done.
Absolutely fixed setup racing here in the Chevy Silverados on the iRacing service. Integrity Racing League, we've been broadcasting all season long. Our last broadcast was at Texas a few weeks back. Hope you were able to join us for that one, and we're glad that you're along for the ride here tonight. Of course, this series and the league at Integrity Racing League is sponsored by Pro Powder and Paint Incorporation. That is propowderandpaint.com. So right now the drivers are out on track for some qualifying, as Matt Busa was the fastest in the practice session that we had tonight at a 20.743. And right now qualifying just underway, so we should be gridding up here in just a few moments for a long race tonight, 175 laps, so it should be a dandy.
Yeah, 175 laps around this place is going to be, I think it's going to take its toll on these drivers because, like I said, I expect a little bit of beating and banging, and it being short track racing, then I think these guys are going to be pretty tired after 175 laps around this place.
Yeah, Richmond, always a very difficult track to get around. It's a short track, as we've mentioned. It is 0.75 miles long and very difficult to maneuver. A lot of patience has to be shown by these drivers, but it's a short track. Drivers don't have patience on short tracks, do they, Trevor?
Not at all. I believe short tracks, actually, you just leave your patience at the door and just hope that when all the beating and banging's done, that you've done more beating than gotten banging, and you end up in victory circle.
Absolutely. So qualifying is a little bit more than halfway wrapped up, and Matt Busa is back on top of the leaderboard for the moment, at least. Still a few trucks remaining to go, but he ran a 20.79, and currently Andrew Fayash III is in second. But like I mentioned, a couple more trucks to go here, so we'll have to see if those two will hold down the top two positions.
Yeah, definitely, and let's see. Just trying to look at so far qualifying in the third position, the 91 truck of Cody Kutzner there. He is the last week's winner from Michigan, so he beat out Michael Guest, who finished second last week, so he's currently qualifying in third as we stand right now.
Yeah, and Michael Dole and Jacob Fife come in as your top two in the championship standings. Michael Dole holding a 12-point lead over Jacob Fife. Jeff Barger is third in the points, 86 behind, so he's got a lot of work to do to make up some points there. Matthew Wright coming in fourth. Brad Patton is fifth in the championship standings. Charles Counts, Jim Papa Fife, Daniel Holloway, Bruce Knowing, Alan Roll round out the top 10 in the championship standings as they come into tonight's race here at Richmond, which is race number 17 of 36. And Trevor, I think it's time for the national anthem. So let's head trackside.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. A big shout out to the virtual Thunderbirds in that national anthem. Now it's time for our starting lineup tonight. Matt Busa will start from the pole as he was able to hang on and with a lap of 20.79. The 34, Matt Busa, leading him to the green with Andrew Fayesh, the third, to his outside.
Starting in third, we have the 91 truck of Cody Kutzner, and the 13 truck starts beside him with Matthew Wright.
Row 3 will see the number 74 of Michael Guest to his outside, the number 2 machine of Patrick Davis.
Starting in 7th position, we have Jacob Fife in the 36 truck, and in 8th position, we have the 66 of Brian Harvey.
Rolling off 9th is the number 31 machine of Jeff Barger, and to his outside will be the number 15 truck of Michael Stroff.
The 20 truck of Blake Cannon starts in 11th position, and in 12th we have the 18 of Brad Patton.
Rolling off 13th, and the number 6 truck will be Bobby Keith, to his outside, the number 26 of Daniel Holloway.
The 94 truck of Alan Roll starts in 15th position, and in 16th we have the number 17 truck of Chris Freeman.
And rolling off in 17th in that beautiful number 4 machine tonight will be Chance D. Manning, to his outside, Jim Papa Fife rolling off in the 18th spot in the number 63 truck.
And qualified 19th with the last truck that took time is the 88 of Michael Duell. That's pretty far back in the order for him. And then the 69 truck of Bruce Koenig.
Rolling off last on the field in the number 81 machine, starting 21st tonight, is Charles Counts. So a lot of these drivers have a long way to go. We do have a few EOLs though, Trevor, to start off the race, which we have, let's see here, Patrick Davis was giving an EOL, Cody Kutzner, Jeff Barger, Alan Roll, Bruce Knowing, Michael Guest, and Bobby Keith, all given EOLs due to various reasons, mostly penalties more than likely. So they will all start shotgun on the field now.
We're getting ready to, as we wind down our pace lap here there, Chad, we're getting ready to go green, and this should be interesting.
Yeah, like we said, 175 laps tonight, a lot of short track action coming your way. Hey, it's Saturday night, it's short track racing. That's what it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Matt Busa going to lead the field down. That Ford Mustang pace car pulls off, and the field is now waiting on the green flag, which is in the air. Matt Busa with an excellent jump on the field as he gets cleared by about a truck length over Andrew Fayesh III, who is also cleared into second place. A relatively clean start by everybody throughout the field.
Yeah, I saw that 20 truck look like he made a pretty bold move to the outside there as we got started, but everybody's nice and clean. No accidents so far.
Matt Busa will lead lap 1 here tonight at Richmond. I would expect that we will see him up front most of the night. He was very fast throughout practice, and of course won the pole. Oh, we got a trouble. Caution is on the racetrack, and it looks like we've got a wreck in turn 1 and 2. Michael Guest, the number 74 truck, is involved. The 63 of Jim Fife is involved, and I'm thinking that maybe the 6 truck as well, Bobby Keith, also involved in this crash.
Yeah, Bobby Keith is at about a 45-degree angle right now, so he was involved one way or another for sure.
And we're going to cue up the replay here as you see it, as it looks like everybody heading into turn 1. The 6, oh wow, we had a slower truck on the bottom. It looked like the 81 of Charles Counts was a little off pace there, and the 74 couldn't get a wad up in time, and the 6 had no idea what was going on, couldn't see anything. Spotter, I guess, didn't get the word down quick enough, and he just ran flat over the back of Michael Guest, going at a much higher rate of speed, and that will bring out a caution flag, obviously.
Yeah, as these guys will take their trucks down to get the attention of their pit crews. We didn't mention at the beginning of this broadcast, but each of these trucks has one reset to try to get the one kind of get out of jail free card that they can get the trucks fixed up. So everybody should be able to get back on the track and in shape.
Yeah, but it's awful disappointing for those guys, Trevor, to have to use that magic reset there at the very beginning of the race. We were only 4 laps in thus far. And I know that that's not how these guys wanted to start off tonight's race.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's something you want to keep in your back pocket for a little bit later, because anytime you have any damage, it uses that reset up, and so you just wanted to avoid getting in the pits and having to use that right out of the gate, I mean, as they're only on lap 4.
Well, the field working under the caution flag here. Matt Busa once again out front, and we've seen this a lot from this driver. He's pretty good at this iRacing thing. I think it's pretty safe to say. But Matt Busa coming into tonight's race far back in the points, unfortunately for him. He's 15th right now, but he's only made 10 starts out of the first 16 races that Integrity has had this season, so that's got a lot to do with it, I'm pretty sure. But we're accustomed to seeing Matt Busa up front, though, Trevor.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing to note here is that this league actually runs a chase format like the Sprint Cup guys do. So looking at the points, I mean, it's not so much important where you stand as we go through the season as much as long as you're in the top 10 or grab one of those 2 wildcard spots. So some of those guys who have less races still have a very good chance of making the chase and making a run for this championship.
And that is an excellent point. So just wanted to point out that the Integrity Racing League did race here last season, and they had 4 cautions at Richmond last season, so a pretty clean race last time around. But we've already got 1 thus far, but the field is doubling back up, and we are about to go green. And we'll see how long we can go this time. Matt Busa has selected the inside lane, as we will probably see all night long. And Ford Mustang pace car pulls off. We'll see how good of a jump Matt Busa gets this time, and he gets a great one, and he will clear the 77 and moves up. And it looks like we got a challenge, though, on the 77. That 36, Jacob 5 with an excellent restart, pulls alongside.
Yeah, looks like he's not going to give him that inside lane, and he's managing to hold with him. But the 77, I was about to say it cleared him, but doesn't look like he's made it all the way around. And the 36 still has his truck on the inside there as they head into turn 1 here.
Well, a lot of, I want to say, we got 1 truck down on the apron back there in 3 and 4. Not quite sure who that is. Oh, we got a big wreck. 17 is in the wall. The 74 is also involved. The 17 of Chris Freeman went head on into the fence, and now he's got some of that famous smoke coming out of his machine right there. It looked like the 74 may have had a little contact with him. We're going to have to wind up the replay here, see if we can see what happened as they headed into turns 1 and 2. And it just looks like the 74, Michael Guest, thought he had a run coming out of turn 2, and the 17 got a little bit squirrely, had to check up a little bit, and unfortunately the 2 just made contact as they headed down the back straightaway. And this is a tight racetrack, Trevor. It's very difficult to put yourself in positions, but 74 didn't have much room there, so that was just some short track racing right there, it looks like.
Yeah, and the 74 is, as we know, Michael Guest is a fast driver behind the wheels of one of these trucks here. So he's not used to being in the back there, and I'm wondering if maybe just a little bit of I got to get up towards the front kind of played into his mindset there a little bit, and maybe made a move that he maybe oughtn't have made. But you know, I mean, you got to make the moves when you can. So he tried it, and it didn't work out too good.
Yep, that's unfortunately short track racing at its best, I guess. Maybe that's worse. I don't know.
I was waiting for "at its finest" to come out of your lips there, but I wasn't too sure. But he's the 74 truck has now used his reset, and he's got a brand new truck out there. So he's going to try it again. Maybe with a little bit more patience, I think, to try to keep the fenders on there now that he's used up that reset.
And just wanted to mention to all those of you out there watching, Laura Lawson is down there pushing all the buttons, bringing you this fantastic broadcast for you tonight here on ETV Live. We are proud to bring this to you live here on Saturday night, and we're glad that you could join us for some fantastic racing that we've seen thus far, working the second caution, though, under lap 11 here. Already in this race, remember I was telling you there earlier, Trevor, that we had 4 cautions total last season at this race for this track, so already we've gotten halfway there in the early stages of the race.
Yeah, I think we're going to probably eclipse that 4 caution limit here, even though we only have 21 trucks in the race. Although I noticed that Alan Roll is having some electrical issues and seems to be having some trouble keeping connected to his truck, and is now shown as 7 laps down. So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get back in there or not.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see him have some electrical issues like you were talking there this early in the race, especially at a short track. So hopefully we don't have, hopefully he can fix that up here shortly and get back in the race and try to still a good finish out of tonight's race. And I do want to point out that Jim Papa Fife in that number 63 machine is the lucky dog on this caution, so he has been waved around the pace car and will get back on the lead lap.
I remember we lost that lap on that first caution that we had there, so he's now getting that lap back. He required more than that lap to get his damage fixed and to get back out there. So now he's back on the lead lap, so good for Jim Fife.
And the field doubles up behind the Ford Mustang pace car, which the lights are now off the top of that car. We're going to turn them loose again on another restart here, so we'll have to see if we can get a long green flag run in here. And just wanted to point out that the number 20 machine of Blake Cannon is making his way slightly towards the front. He started back in the 12th position, and he is up half of the spots that he had to make up. He's already in 6th as that pace car pulls off. And Matt Busa will get another fantastic restart, but boy, Jacob Fife got a great one as well, and he looks to the inside as they head into turn number 1. What a fantastic start from Jacob.
Wow, he was not falling for that restart the 3rd time in a row, and Jacob just put it all out there, and man, he is hasn't quite cleared him yet, but he made an awesome move on that restart.
Well, that was a great move, and now he's trying to bring that 77 machine of Andrew Fayesh III. He wants to get up here and play for the lead as well. Jacob Fife can't quite clear Matt Busa. Well, he slows down a little bit going into the turn. That's going to allow them to be side by side as they come off at turn number 2. Great battle for the lead here.
Yeah, definitely, and that's the thing you got to watch for here is these guys are going to have slightly different braking points and slightly different points where they're going to slow down for those corners. So you saw the 77 almost get into the 36 truck there when they went into that corner.
Andrew still looking all over the back of that 36, and you see it there. He checked up just a little bit earlier to make sure that he wouldn't get into the back of the 36. But boy, I'm impressed here, Trevor. Matt Busa is hanging on that outside line, which is tough to do, and it looks like, and in fact, Jacob Fife will clear him. New race leader officially now as the 77 gets a little loose coming out of the turn there, but Jacob Fife on point.
Yeah, it's the first time that Matt Busa has been not in the lead. The problem is now that he's stuck on that outside and probably warmed those tires up a little bit, he's probably going to lose at least a couple more spots. He's already lost 2nd position, is now fighting for his life for 3rd before he can get back in line, maybe behind the 13, and looks like he gets back in line. So he lost a couple spots there by fighting for the lead, and Jacob got a little bit of a breather in front of the field there.
Yeah,
we have a truck going around. We have a few trucks going around there, right coming as they came out of the corner.
Absolutely. We've got the, let's see, it looks like the 91 of Cody Kutzner is involved. I also see the 2 machine of Patrick Davis involved in the crash as well, and some heavy rear end damage to that number 2 machine of Patrick Davis. We're going to check out the replay here. Laura Loss is going to dial it for us. Looks like the 18 gets on the apron. That is Brad Patton, the number 18 machine, and just gets really loose, and he saves it, but the field kind of checking up behind, trying to avoid him, and the 91 got in the back of the 2, and both of them went for a little bit of a spin there.
Yeah, actually, as I was watching that, I saw the 18 go sideways there just as he went out of the frame of the TV, and And he, like you mentioned, he actually had no problems. He just got a little bit loose, caught it, but everybody else kind of got on the old panic binders, and that's where the accident was, where the 18 I don't even think got a scratch on him.
And actually, also involved in that crash, he didn't spin out, but he got some pretty heavy contact, was the number 20 of Blake Cannon, who we just mentioned was charging pretty hard towards the front there in the early goings. He's bringing his crew down to the attention or he's bringing his car, rather, to the attention of the crew to try and get some of that damage fixed. And I don't believe he's used his reset yet, so now he has. And we're under our third caution already here on lap number 20, so we're going to step away, take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with some more green flag racing.
Plus other listeners where you could hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And welcome back here. The restart is out, green flag is out rather, and the Jacob 5, a fantastic start right there, and he will clear the whole field as he leads them off into turn number 1.
Yeah, and Matt Busey in that 34 truck was stuck back there because of the positions he lost previously there, and he couldn't get that jump, and he's still stuck on that outside line while Jacob enjoys a bit of room. He's the 34 truck is in 4th position there. Doesn't look like the 15 is going to get on the inside. And there's the 13 makes a move for 2nd position on the inside of the 77.
Yeah, everybody for the most part is getting strung out, but taking a look here, that number 88 truck, Trevor, started basically shotgun on the field. He is already into the 5th place now as he just completed a pass on the 15 machine. So move Michael Dole, our points leader coming into tonight, into 5th place.
Yeah, I wonder if Michael just wanted a little bit of a challenge for himself, or if he had problems during his qualifying run, but qualified way deep in the field, minus a couple of end-of-the-line penalties, but he has worked his way up to the front, which is not a surprise to anybody who's been paying attention to this lead.
Yeah, I just want to also point out that the 26 of Daniel Holloway driving the Net Zero Chevy just got really squirrely coming out of 2 that last lap and caused a fairly big checkup. And they went 3 wide for their about 4 or 5 seconds, but everyone kept it clean and did a nice job of avoiding Daniel, and he's recovered, but he's lost about 3 or 4 spots, and now he's in 16th position, unfortunately for him.
As we have a battle for the lead as the 13 truck goes in the inside of the 36 truck, and looks like he's not quite going to clear him, but Matthew Wright is putting up a fight for that lead with the 77, trying to push him and will him past the 36 truck so that they can take the lead and head on front.
Boy, these guys are driving these trucks so hard. As you see, all 3 of the leaders there came out of 4 a little bit squirrely, but Matthew Wright will take over the lead. He clears Jacob 5 as they come off of 2. And Andrew Fash, the 3rd, wants to head into 2nd place.
Yeah, and that's one thing to mention there is the fact that I was watching these guys during practice, and this setup, as we kind of alluded to at the beginning of this race, is very loose as the 34 looks to thinks better at getting on the inside of the 77. So even these guys who are fast and have all of this talent behind the wheel, they're struggling to keep these trucks going in the right direction all the way through around this track, because these trucks don't take much before they'll just step out on you.
Very difficult track to maneuver around, and the setup, like you were talking about, is a little bit on the free side, so that makes it even more difficult for these drivers. And I'm interested to see if we do get a long run here, Trevor, how some of these, well, we got some trucks here in the back of the field that were really loose coming out of 2, but I'm interested to see who manages to keep the tires under them for a long green flag run, because that'll be key. If we do get a long green flag run here tonight, you got to have those tires, especially here at Richmond. Boy, that was really close. Oh, boy, that was close again. Sorry, I'm watching the 66 truck back here, and the 18 is around. Brad Patton back straight away into the inside wall there. Caution is out. Brad Patton got really loose in that 18 truck coming out of turn number 2, and he could not hang on.
Well, you were having a lot of fun up here in the booth here. You're just watching the excitement out here, Chad. I don't know if you want to be broadcasting or if you just want to be watching this. You're having so much fun.
I'm enjoying this. There's some good racing back there in the back of the pack, but the 66 got really loose trying to make a pass on the 18. And as you're watching it on the replay now, the 18 lost it in the middle of the back straightaway coming out of turn number 2. And doesn't look like he made that much contact with the inside wall, so we'll be interested to see if his truck is still going to turn and drive correctly, as we want these things to do when we're behind the wheel.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just watching it myself here just to see what sort of damage he might have gotten, because that's the second time in a row that he's gotten loose and kind of spun on his own there. Last time he was a little bit more lucky, but some pretty significant damage, I think, on the front end of that. So,
yeah, hopefully though it's just cosmetic and won't really affect his toe or anything like that. He did a good job of trying to get the truck load down enough that he wouldn't hit the wall too hard, but and it looks like he still has his reset, so he has a brand spanking new truck, and he will return to the track in that number 18 main performance PC Chevrolet.
yeah, I was just watching that stop along with you there to make sure to see if he had actually used it. So him saving himself on that previous one had saved that reset for when he really, really needed it. So that little bit of a spin save earlier really saved his bacon now.
Saved his bacon. I don't know that I've ever heard that term before.
Well, I figured you were pumping out the word squirrely like it was going out of style, so I figured I'd try to come up with my own phrases as well.
Well, there we go. And that's what we're here for, is to be entertaining and come up with words.
Just a key thing to note here, the 13 truck and the 77 truck both came in for pit stops during that round of pit stops, and both took 4 tires, so they're a little bit deeper in the field than we're used to seeing them.
And we haven't had most of our leaders pit today, so it'll be interesting to see what fairly older tires will do compared to those fresh tires that the 77 and the 13 have. We'll have to keep an eye on their march back through the field.
Yeah, another thing noticed in this league, we mentioned that they have the 1 reset, but there's also a 4 pit stop rule in this league as well. So, we're talking about saving that reset for when they really needed it, but they're also going to save those pit stops because we're only 35 laps into this race here, and several of these trucks have already been down pit road a little bit earlier than they probably had planned with their strategies. So they're using up those pit stops as well.
Well, the pace lights are off the top of the pace car, and it is about to take that famous left-hand turn there in turns number 4. Matt Busa is currently on point, and he's going to lead it again. Been getting some good restarts tonight, and guess what? He gets another good one. Jumps out to about a 3-truck length lead already, but he's got Michael Duell and Jacob 5 trying to battle there for second for a lap, and it looks like Michael Duell's going to try and... he gets ready to lose! Boy! What a save by Michael Duell there as he came out.
Yeah, he saved it, but he packed up the field, and that caused the accident.
Big crash. We've got at least 5 or 6 trucks involved in this with some fairly heavy damage here.
Wow, the 88 truck is got some heavy, heavy damage from that. So he saved it, but stacked up the field, and when they caught him, they wrecked.
And Brad Patton, who just had reset his truck, also involved in this crash. Looks like he's going to have some fairly heavy. Well, the 66 truck came flying through there awful fast. Brian Harvey. So I'm not sure if that's what helped trigger the wreck, but they were basically 4 wide, and then he came through and tried to make it 5 wide, and I think they were kind of 5 wide, which I'm pretty sure that doesn't work at Richmond.
Well, I'm just queuing up my old replay here, and I'm going to count. Yeah, at one point in time, they were exactly 5 wide, so I believe that's where the problem started.
Yeah, so, 5 wide at Talladega, that might work. I don't know that I encourage it, but it might work. Richmond, I'm pretty sure that will never, ever work. And it looks like also, sorry Trevor there, but the 81 of Charles Counts was also involved in that as well.
Yeah, I was just listening to some of the radio chatter here, and it sounds like there's some upset drivers out there, and we both know that this is an emotional sport where you kind of get your emotions out there on your sleeve because you're so excited, and there's some pretty upset drivers out there right now because of some of this some of these accidents.
Yeah, and like I was mentioning with Brad Patton, also Blake Cannon had already used his reset, so now they've got to fix that damage, which I'm sure that he's got fairly significant damage there, so he's going to be on pit road for a while. And unfortunately, most of the trucks in that crash actually probably have used their reset already, but Michael Dole brings his badly hurt truck down pit road into that 19th pit stall, because he started 19th tonight. And he should still have his reset because I don't think he's pitted in this race. If I'm not mistaken, I'll have to check on my stats here, but he does get the reset. And so Michael Dole is safe and sound, and that was his first pit stop, but unfortunately he just got really loose coming out of 2 there, and that caused that big crash there.
Well, I mean, that's the second time we've seen that tonight, where the truck that gets loose manages to actually save it, and then the accident happens because of the action, not because of the actual spin there. Both the 18 and the 88 have done that tonight, where they've got a bit loose, saved it, and then everybody else, because of avoiding or seeing the problem in front of them, have triggered that accident. So that's the thing with short track racing. Things they don't necessarily start where they really start, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean, and the spotters will sometimes help with that as well. They'll jump on the radios and say, we got a wreck up here, I got a wreck up here, and guys will start to check up to try and avoid it, and other guys don't get the word as quickly, and then we have chain reaction wrecks. So there's all kinds of stuff that happens on the short tracks.
Yeah, and it always has a tendency to happen quickly. I'm also taking a look through here, and it looks like the 74 truck that we were speaking of earlier, Michael Guest, seems to have lost his connection to the server. So in sim racing terms, he seems to be having some internet connection. But let's put it on a real term. Let's see. The car fell off the jack and flipped upside down, and he can't drive it anymore.
Well, that... Well, we could put skis on the top of the truck, and maybe he could ski around the track.
But he is not connected back into the server now, so he's showing off the track in 7 laps down, about to be 8. So unfortunate for Michael Guest, last week's runner-up at Michigan.
And also Alan Roll is also still having electrical issues and is not on track. He is in the garage as well. So those are the 2 trucks currently behind the wall, but that pace car pulls off again. Matt Busa doing what he does best, leading them to the green here. Gets a great start, but I tell you what, Jacob Fife also got a good start in second there. He will fall in the line heading into 1, I do believe, with Matt Busa here. And he's not. He's actually going to stay up top. Okay, there he comes to the bottom.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I don't know if that was a matter of he was just trying to keep his line through there, or if he just couldn't quite get his truck all the way to the bottom, but he managed to do so now as the 15 truck actually loses the position and then tries quickly to gain it right back.
Yeah, that's oh, caution, we got a crash here at the back of the field. I'm going to see if we can find out who this was. It looks like the 20 of Blake Cannon, and that bright and pretty pink truck has spun again. So the 20 of Blake Cannon goes around, and looking at my replay here, Trevor, it looks like he just lost it all by himself. Coming out of turn number 4, the truck just hooked and spun. Doesn't look like he hit anything, though.
Yeah, but the thing too is the fact that he had sustained some pretty significant damage on that last caution, and looking at what the pit crew was able to do, they weren't able to fix that all in. So I'm pretty sure that he had a damaged truck to begin with, and that probably contributed to that spin.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it did. So these trucks are already difficult to drive when they're nice and pretty and not banged up, but when you get some damage on there, it really can affect the way these things drive, and it makes it very challenging. So looks like he's going to have to come back down and get some more repairs to that number 20 machine. Sporting the pink colors, though, tonight.
Yeah, actually, that not to be a conspiracy theorist on this, but that actually works out pretty good in his favor because he didn't get all the damage fixed last time. Gets another caution, so he gets to another couple of minutes to get the hammers out and try to straighten that truck out and hopefully get him in better shape.
Well, Trevor, we still have 19 trucks here on track. We have been under caution, unfortunately, most of the race thus far. I'm not sure, but I think our longest green flag run was around 10 or so laps. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I haven't really been keeping up with that, so hopefully we can get some good green flag racing in here, but we are 6 cautions for 18 laps thus far, and we just completed 45 laps in the event.
Yeah, we kind of expected a little bit of some definite cautions to come out here because, as you mentioned, it's short track racing. It's Richmond. It's tight racing in there, and these fixed setups are a bit on the loose side. And most of the accidents we've been seeing, it's not been aggressive driving. It hasn't been people running anybody over. It's been people just losing control of their trucks and the chain reaction that causes.
Yeah, actually, I would say that's been a little more than half of the cautions we've had tonight, just what you were saying there. So, we've mentioned it before, these trucks can be difficult to drive, and fortunately some of these guys are finding that out.
Yeah, definitely a different complexion to the race than we saw at Texas there a couple weeks back when we were up here in the booth of the Integrity Racing League. We're watching these guys where there was a lot more room, and there was a lot more speed, a lot more room, but I believe we only had a couple cautions in that race, or give or take. I'll have to check my stat sheet there, but it was definitely a different complexion of race for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely there at the Texas Motor Speedway, but just look it up. We had 3 cautions at Texas when we were there doing the broadcast there, so we've already doubled that.
Well, that's right. So you're the statistician of the team here. So you do your research, you do your homework, and you make sure you have all the sheets ready. I just think about, hey, it'd be nice to have that information, and lo and behold, Chad can bring it out for us. So he's an integral part of this team, ladies and gentlemen. He's not just a pretty voice. He's also a guy who understands racing and understands how to look up some stats quicker than I certainly can.
Yeah, I come prepared, man. But I do want to mention real quickly before we go back to green, ProPatternPaint.com. Check them out because I said so. But they are located in Ashland, Virginia. Pro Pattern Paint provides quality spray paint, powder coating, and finishing services to Virginia businesses and consumers. Like I said, ProPatternPaint.com. They are the sponsor of the Integrity Racing League, which is a fantastic league. You're watching them right here on ETV Live. Laura Lawson down in the control booth doing all the button pushing and bringing the fantastic video feed to you. My name is Chad Dalton. He's Trevor Cameron, and we're enjoying some fun Saturday night short track racing. Trevor, take us to the green flag.
All right, we're about to go green as the pace car heads in, as we expect Matt Busa to get a good jump here as we're waiting, and he hits the gas and gets a good run. Jacob Fife isn't really falling for that and stays with him, although he does have a truck looking on the inside, so he's not going to be able to tuck in behind the 34. The 69 is on the inside with the 2 looking to get by him as well, but meanwhile, Matt Busa is loving this and getting all that clean, fresh air out in front of this field.
Yeah, boy, Matt Busa has been nailing the restarts tonight. He has nailed every single one thus far. But the battle for second is the 69 truck is trying to take that away from Jacob Fife, and I do believe he's going to clear him, cut him out of 2. Everybody else, though, 2x2 behind him. One truck a little bit loose back there. Not quite sure who that was, but they're still 2x2 for third on back.
Yeah, and the other thing to notice here as well is the fact that Matt Busa, we know is fast, but he's had some bad luck this season, so he hasn't exactly been up in the standings where he should be. He's actually sitting in one of those wild card spots that we mentioned before, because he does have victory in this league this season, even though he's standing 15th in points. So he's looking to add to that and hopefully work his way into the chase, without having to take one of those wild card spots. But he seems to be trying to race some of those bad luck races that he's had earlier this season.
Looking back here, the 13 machine of Matthew Wright, who had taken the lead, just made a little bit of contact with the wall coming out of 2. But he is on the outside, or he's trying to be on the outside, but he's going to come back in line there with Jacob Fife right in front of him. He's looking back to the outside again, that number 13 machine. So Matthew Wright trying to work his way back up through the field as he is trying to do what he can to get around these guys. There's kind of a roadblock there with the 69 and the 2 right ahead of them. Not that they are a roadblock, but they're racing side by side. So that makes it very difficult to find ways to get around these trucks.
Yeah, the 2 and the 69 are having a heck of a battle, just trading that spot back and forth as they almost made contact. If they didn't, they certainly came really close coming out of that corner, but the 69 is not going to be scared off and still maintains that inside lane as they battle back and forth, and they're just having one heck of a battle. As the 13 says, hey, you know what? I've had enough of your battle. I want to get up here and start making some moves myself.
Tell you what, if that 2 truck didn't have a shortened back end, that might have been a crash there with him in the 69, because that was really close. 13, though, clears him, gets a little squirrely coming out of 2. So Matthew Wright is the hard charger right now. He's making some moves, trying to get back up and battle for the lead with that 34, Matt Busa, who is checked out already to a little over a 1-second lead on Andrew Fayesh III, who has also made his way back up into the top 3 after making a pit stop a couple cautions ago.
Yeah, tell you what. The 36.
Sorry, Trevor.
And I believe he made contact with his teammate, the 88, as well.
Yeah, Michael Duell didn't get checked up in time and ran right into the back of him. Didn't have anywhere to go really there, but some heavy damage to the left rear of Jacob Fife. But his truck seems to be handling the way that it was before. And Michael Duell lost the position, but he also seems to still be okay, even though he has some right front damage.
Yeah, and we know Michael Duell has used his reset, so he's going to have to get the crew to fix that damage for real this time. I don't believe Jacob has, and I wonder if that's going to play into his strategy of when he wants to get in and into the pit stall, because he might want to extend it out and not use that reset, because as soon as he gets that pit stop in, he's going to use that reset up.
Yeah, so we'll have to keep an eye on that for sure. But now Michael Duell trying to bounce back. And almost made contact with the 15 there, but manages to clear Michael in the 15 machine. So move Michael Duell up 1 to the 8th position, as now he'll go to work on the 4 machine of Chance Manning.
Up front, just taking a quick look up front there, not much has changed other than the fact that 13 has gotten around the 2 truck and is trying to chase down Andrew Fayesh. But we got some pretty healthy gaps between 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here. So everybody's kind of has their own space and is kind of in their own little happy land right now, except for the guys in the back who are beating and banging, and I bet you they're a bit jealous of the guys up front right now.
Yeah, Matthew Wright has been pretty fast here, but still not faster than our leader, Matt Busa. He's a couple tenths slower that last lap there, but not sure if he made contact with the wall or got loose. Talking about the 13 machine there, but have to see the lap time comparison as they come around this time to get the lap. Matt Busa ran a 21.68, and he has been very consistent. Matthew Wright with an 80, but Matt Busa, the last 3 laps here, Trevor, has really been very consistent. He's actually, you can even really do the last 5 laps. They've all been in the 60s, so turning some very consistent lap times in that 34 truck tonight.
Yeah, and another thing to notice that we started to speak about a little bit earlier was the fact that because these setups are so loose, these guys, when they're fighting their trucks, are going to be using up those tires a little bit more. And these guys being out front and not having to fight that wheel quite as much is going to play into their advantage if we have a long green flag run here, because they're not going to use up their tires, where the guys in the back who are battling it out a little bit more, like the 2 and the 69 were earlier, they're going to have a little bit less tire at the end of this run, I think.
Yep, Matt Busa stretching out his lead just a little bit, about 3/10 that last lap, or last couple laps. He's up to a 1.4 second lead. Andrew Fash the third having a good run though tonight. He is currently in second place. Third place, Matthew Wright. Fourth is Patrick Davis, and that battle between him and the 69 has settled down, and actually Patrick has put some distance now on the 69 machine. A little over a half second or so, and see if that number 2 truck that with the shortened back end can make up any ground on the leaders.
Yeah, actually, I've been watching the last couple laps here. The 36 truck of Jacob Fife has been just slowly eating into the lead that the 69 has ahead of him, and getting ever so closer. But while he's been doing that,
caution!
Oh, we have caution on the track.
Yeah, we have a crash down here in turn 4. We've got about 3 trucks involved. The 17 car is involved. It looks like Daniel Holloway in the 26 is also involved, and Jim 5 once again, and the 63 is also involved in the crash. So. About a 3 or 4 car, or truck rather, crash here in turn 4. See if we can back up the replay and see if we can get an idea for what happened here with all these guys. Looks like the 17 machine just made contact with the 26, and boy, a hard hit for the 17 there. Chris Freeman on the inside wall, but he got at the left rear. 26 of Daniel Holloway, and sent Daniel for a little ride, and then the 17 went for his own ride, and the 63 and the 91 unfortunately had nowhere to go right there. And boy, Charles Counts also came flying into the picture, but he did a great job to avoid contact.
Yeah, that was actually some really significant damage on that 17 truck as he hit those water barrels at the end.
Matt Busa is on pit road, but it looks like we've got a little bit of strategy. Andrew Fayash, Matthew Wright, and Michael Duell all stay out. Everyone else is on pit road, and for some of these guys, it is their first pit stops of the night.
Yeah, and we're seeing the strategy play. Like we mentioned, Andrew Fayash and the 13, they both had pitted on an earlier caution when the rest of the leaders had stayed out.
Yeah, so part of their strategy, it would appear, and it looks like the 2 truck, Patrick Davis, with an excellent stop by his pit crew. So 11.1 seconds on that pit stop. He beats out the 34 of Matt Busa on pit road there. So a great job by that number 2 team to get him out of the pits first.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with that number 1 pit stall that Matt Busa has, that is an impressive bit of work by that pit crew.
So like I mentioned, Andrew Fayash the third staying out. He will be our race leader, and right behind him is Matthew Wright in the number 13 machine. Michael Duell, current points leader coming in tonight by 12 points, will be third here on the restart, and that is provided that none of them pit, which I can't imagine that they would, but you never know.
And also of note there is the fact that Jacob Fife did come in and get that damage repaired on his truck, so he is out there on a brand new truck and ready to go after taking his pit stop as well.
And I am anticipating that the pace lights will go off atop of the car here. Let's see. And they did not. So I'm a failure.
Well, so much for anticipation. A couple other things to mention here as well is that a couple trucks that we had mentioned earlier getting involved in some earlier accidents. Blake Cannon in that pink 20 truck has retired from the race and pulled his truck into the garage area. And also we have where was it? I have lost track of it, Chad. There's another truck that pulled off into the thing, and that would be Blake Cannon has also pulled his truck off of the racing surface. No, wait, Brad Patton is what I meant. Wow. And you thought you couldn't talk.
Yeah. No. So anyways, now let's see if the pace lights go off the top of the car. I do believe that they will. And they do. Yeah, you got it right this time. 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
So, just to be clear, the 20 of Blake Cannon and the 18 of Brad Patton have both pulled back into the garage area and retired from the race, just to be clear on what I was attempting to say in my muddled mouth fashion earlier before.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you cleared that up, Trevor, because I'm pretty sure that you were confusing all of us.
I spoke so much, I actually lost track of what I was saying in the middle of my own sentence.
And that takes talent, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like falling asleep in the middle of your own story.
Alrighty, well, that first Mustang pace car is going to take the famous left-hand turn that we all love. Andrew Fash III is going to lead the field at the green this time. I don't think he's been the race leader on a restart, but he gets an excellent start. So these guys are nailing the restarts tonight when they are the leader of the race. He clears the whole field by about 3 or 4 truck lengths, but we got a battle for second.
Well, and that's key. Oh, wow, and the 2 looks like he wants to get in that battle as well, and he's all over the back of that 88 truck. Thinks better of diving to the inside of him, but he is... Oh, and he gets into the back of him.
Yeah, I think Michael Duell kind of put a little bit of a block on him, not trying to jump on sides there or not, but I know that Michael was trying to keep the 2 back there, and I'm not sure if the 2 was like, hey, wait a minute, dude, you know, I want to get up through here, and give him a little hello, thank you, goodbye, and the 2 truck moves into second place, and now Jacob 5 also took advantage of that as he went around both the 88 and the 13.
Yeah, that 88 truck seems to be struggling after that bit of contact there, and he's fallen back in the clutches of a few people here. He's on the inside of the 13 right now, but looks like he can't quite get it going again after that bit of contact.
Yeah, we've noticed so far tonight that, oh boy, the 31 drove it in there really hard. Haven't really talked about Jeff Barger very much tonight, but here he comes. He's, oh, we got
the 15 around.
15 machine back in the wall. Everyone manages to avoid him, but unfortunately the 15 machine, heavy contact with the outside wall. Looks like a lot of left rear damage right there to that truck. And with this, another caution here tonight, folks. We're going to step away, catch our breath for just 1 minute. We'll be right back here to the Integrity Racing League at Richmond Raceway on ETV Live. Don't go anywhere.
Fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4 to the checkered flag. He wins his first NASCAR race.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Welcome back to Richmond International Raceway tonight here at the Integrity Racing League Truck Series. We do want to point out that we actually had a pass for the lead right before the caution came out, and all the excitement Trevor and I were talking about, we missed it, but Patrick Davis, we're going to watch it here on the replay, actually got around the 77 machine of Andrew Fash III, and he actually just drove right up there and passed him. So that 2 truck all of a sudden is very fast, Trevor, as you watch the replay of the pass for the lead.
Yeah, that 2 truck has actually been really impressing me as we've been kind of going and going about our business tonight, because they've he seems to really I don't know, he hasn't been in the lead the entire race, and we've been talking about a lot of other trucks, but he's been really fighting hard, so I'm not surprised to see him up front.
Yeah, absolutely. He's pretty good at tracks like this. I know that in the races that I've been following him throughout various leagues, he's pretty good on these D-shaped 0.75 mile racetracks. So he has a knack for getting around these places. So yeah, like you said, not very surprised here to see Patrick Davis in the race lead. We'll have to see if he gets out to a big jump here on this restart and walks away from the field.
Well, and that's been the key thing. I mean, like we mentioned before, getting that fresh air and getting out in front of the field has been key in these restarts here. So we'll see if Patrick on his first restart out front can do that.
Pace car is off, filled in the command of Patrick Davis. Green flag out, and a great jump from that 2 machine. And the AC Deco Chevy will clear the 77 there, but Andrew Fayesh not letting him get too far out in front. It's only about a half a truck length back as they head down the back straightaway.
Yeah, definitely didn't get as big of a jump as some of the other guys we've seen. He did manage to maintain that lead, but he's gotten out front, and that's the important thing, away from the jostling that's happening a little bit further back in the field. That is what he wanted to avoid.
Field pretty well strung out, and matter of fact, I think for the first time tonight, everybody is single file with all the trucks that we have out on the track right now, except that changes as Matt Busa and Chance Manning both look to the inside. Oh boy, that was close there with the 31 machine.
Oh yeah, and actually back in the field, I heard an explosion, and it sounds like the 91 truck of Cody Kutzner is blown his engine. It's taken his truck off the track, but no caution. He managed to get it off the racing surface, so no caution.
Boy, we're about to have a caution though. We've got trucks all over the place. The 66 and the 31 and the 4. They just all went down into turn number 3 and 4, and they were completely sideways, and somehow everybody saved it.
Wow.
That was some amazing driving, especially by Chance Manning. I looked up at his truck, and I could see the right side driver door of it from our view up here on the front straightaway up in the booth. And that's never a good thing here, Trevor. That means he is completely sideways coming out of that turn, but an amazing save by him and the 31 of Jeff Barger. Oh boy, now Chance almost gets in the wall coming out of the turn.
Yeah, I was actually just looking on our little on our replay screen here myself, and that was some amazing driving by some of these guys. If it was a real track, I'd wonder if the 91 threw some oil down the track, but you know, that was definitely some great driving by those guys to keep everything going.
Absolutely right there, Trevor, and everyone settles back out, and now for the most part we are single file, except for a little bit of action in the back there. But I tell you what, new second place man is Jacob Fife. He's about to get a little bit of fire from that 34 machine of Matt Busa, who is charging his way up through the field here, trying to get back up to that lead. And Patrick Davis has about a half a second lead right now on the 36, so it'll be interesting to see if the 34 Matt Busa can make quick work of the 36 once he gets to him, and then run down that 2 truck of Patrick Davis.
Yeah, and while we were watching some of that excitement there, the 77 of Andrew Fayesh has fallen all the way back down to 4th position there. Just taking a quick look, it wasn't anything major, just a couple of some good passes by the 36 and the 34.
And I'm noticing here that Jacob Fife seems to take a little bit different of a line than at least Patrick Davis, and perhaps even Matt Busa. He seems to arc it in a little bit more there, a little bit higher than those two are. So I don't know if that's a move to try and help conserve his tires, or if he's making a lot of time with that, if he found that in practice, or what the deal is. But now the 2 truck was way up high entering the turn there. As these guys have railed in, we're going to have a 3-way battle for the lead here, Trevor.
Yeah, they are all over there, and the question will be is whether or not 34 of Matt Busa allows the 36 to make a run for the lead, or he just tries to pass him and go and take that lead for himself, and I think we're about to get that answered.
Yeah, Matt Busa not wasting any time to the inside of the 36 of Jacob Fife. They are dead even coming out. Oh boy, Jacob Fife got really loose. Great save by him. Slowed it down just enough to where he wouldn't make contact, but unfortunately he lost a ton of time, and now he's got some company in the form of the 13 and the 77 of Andrew Vash, who lost another spot. here on this green flag run. But boy, what a great save there by Jacob Fife, but he is losing some spots because of it.
Yeah, and actually that was one of those things where it's a good thing that they were all spread out like that, because that's another one of those situations where we had one truck get a little bit loose and save it, and if there was trucks a little bit closer, I think we would have had another accident, but fortunately there was enough space so everybody could get straightened out and away.
We're about to have a battle for the race lead, though. The 34, Matt Busa, taking a peek to that inside of that number 2 truck. Patrick Davis can't quite get to him, though, as he falls back in line, but Trevor, things are heating up here at the front of the field.
Yeah, definitely. And I was actually taking a look at that 77 truck who has been losing some time there, and he's looking really loose going into some of these corners, so I'm wondering if he's just he's just hanging on, and that's why he's losing spots as he loses another one to the 69 truck.
Yeah, that can definitely create problems when you're already loose, and then you keep adding to the loose. You'll heat those tires up, especially the rear tires, make them very angry at you, and they'll fight back and just make you all kinds of wrecking loose.
Meanwhile, back up front, we have the 2 trucks still in front of the 34, but I don't think that's going to last too much longer here, as the 34 keeps making runs and dives towards the inside, but can't quite make it stick yet.
As you ride on board with Patrick Davis right now, looking back at the 34 of Matt Busa, but I'll tell you what, Matt Busa is all over the back of the 2, but Patrick Davis not cracking under the pressure yet here. He's doing a good job of holding off Matt Busa as we work lap number 96. Still a long ways to go. Wondering how much patience will be shown here by Matt Busa's. Both trucks got a little bit squirrely there coming out of the turn, but more so of the 34 of Matt Busa.
Well, yeah, and like as racing as close as they are here, it's amazing these guys are managing to keep each off of each other here, because everybody has their own lines. He takes a look on the inside there, and
yeah, Patrick Davis not giving him a ton of room there. Not sure what Matt Busa will think about that, but he looks like he's going to get him there, and it looks like Patrick Davis will let him go. So probably a smart move at this stage of the race by the 2 truck there. But new leader, and well, he's not really new, but he's new at the moment.
yeah, and I wonder if that's one of those things where he realized I didn't give him much room there, so you know what, I know you're faster, I'm going to let you get out in front, and we'll make some laps with me chasing you down for a little bit here.
Yeah, and thus far, we were talking about with Matt Busa here, he has been pretty much the dominant truck of the night. He's led 49 laps. This will be 50 laps when he crosses the line here. So he's been out front for more than anyone. Patrick Davis, though, has 24 laps led on tonight's race. Jacob Fife has led 13 laps. Andrew Vance III has led 7. Matthew Wright has led 5 laps as well. That is the quick rundown of the laps led to this point in the race.
Yeah, and just to update, looking back in the garage here, that 91 truck that lost its engine, they were not able to fix it, and he has retired his way from the race, so he's sitting in 16th position, but the 17 truck, I believe, is still out there, so the 91 will fall back at least one more spot before the end of the night.
Yeah, and that should happen here in the next couple of laps, I would imagine, is, well, maybe not. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, right now we have 5 trucks out of the race. Alan Roll is out in 21st position. The 74 Michael Guest is out in 20th. Brad Patton is out of the race in 19th. Blake Cannon is out in 18th. And then, like you just mentioned, Cody Kutzner, who's a little bit of a battle up here as I look back here at the racetrack. The 13 machine just gave a little wake-up call to Jacob Fife in that 36 machine, and unfortunately for Jacob, he's going to lose a spot in probably 2, as now his teammate is underneath him.
Yeah, that's not unusual in short track racing, where you get a little bit of contact. Actually, I'm just looking back there. It looks like it seemed to be a fairly clean pass there, but definitely the 36 falling back a little bit further than he's been used to.
Yeah, I think the old saying, excuse me, pardon me, coming through applies here tonight at Richmond with some bump and runs, but like you said, that was a pretty clean move there. So I just randomly looked at it, looked up from our monitors here, and looked a little... Oh, and now, here we go again. Michael Duell looking to the inside now, the 13 of Matthew Wright, as these two battle halfway down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and even with with Michael there making has led some laps in his racing there, him passing the inside of the 13, he's getting a bit loose coming out there. He managed to make the pass, but even that isn't a safe move as the 36 looks to the inside of the 13 as well to get that position back.
Side by side down the back straightaway, Jacob 5 does have the preferred line. Will be interesting to see if he can clear him in turns 3 and 4, and he does, but almost got a little bit loose there and almost allowed the 13 to get back under him, but they stay single file there as they head off into 1.
Well, that's something too that I've been noticing throughout the night. A lot of these guys are able to make that safe pass around them, but because they have to take a slightly different line than they're used to in order to make some of those passes, when they come through the exit of the corner, they end up being a little bit loose, and that guy behind who has just been passed all of a sudden has a run and sometimes make contact, sometimes crosses them over, and sometimes gets on the binders enough to keep everybody safe.
Yeah, and there are certain stages of the race that I would say you would need to show more patience, and this is certainly one of the stages of the race where the 13 probably could have crossed him up there, but probably better to just fall in line and log a few laps here as we're working lap 109 of 175 tonight. So we're making progress towards the finish of the race. Matt Busa has worked it up to a little over a 1 second lead, 1.3 to be exact, as they cross the stripe there. With Patrick Davis is in second, Michael Dole third, Jacob Fife is currently in fourth, Matthew Wright is in fifth, and Andrew Fayash is actually fallen back to sixth. But we're going to go on board here with Matt Busa, check out how he's getting around this 0.75 mile racetrack, right along with him, and Trevor, he's definitely got the dominant truck here tonight.
Yeah, and even one thing you can notice here is the fact that he's had the dominant truck. He's led the most amount of laps, but even as you watch him going through there, if you actually look at those bright pink or purple gloves as he makes a little bit of contact with the front stretch there, he is fighting this truck for all it's worth going through the corners, and he's not even trying to pass anybody. He's just trying to keep the truck going in the right direction.
Yeah, he's been pretty loose there coming out of some of these turns here lately, but he continues to add to his race lead. It's up to 1.6 now, and though he's driving the wheels off of that truck, he's doing it in the manner of which is fast.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you can't with this caliber driver in here. I mean, you can't just rest on your laurels, so to speak, and just take it nice and easy. I mean, if he starts taking it easy, that 2 truck is going to eat up his that lead really, really quickly. So he's still going to fight it for all it's worth every single lap to make sure that he keeps that lead out.
Yeah, that time by Matt Busa ran a 21.98, and Patrick Davis ran a 21.93. So just a tick quicker there for Patrick Davis that last time by. So Patrick, maybe the spotter will yell at him and tell him to keep running that exact same line. Maybe he can slightly gain back on Matt Busa, but right now Busa holding steady at a 1.6 second lead. While we have been under some green flag racing here, just wanted to take a moment and throw a quick shout out to Bob Earl.
Wow, that's an interesting shout out there. I mean, that's hey Bob, shout out to you.
Well, anyways, a simulation racing cockpit designed by championship race car driver Bob Earl. Who better than a real race car driver? I mean, that has to sell for everybody. To design a simulation racing cockpit, after all, he knows what it means to be comfortable in the seat. The design features a fully adjustable seat and frame, additional monitor stand, and shifter mount sold separately. Proud sponsor of the 2013 RSR Full Throttle Cup Series, a high quality and affordable virtual racing cockpit priced at just $349 plus shipping. See it all at www.boboralracing.com today. Go order yourself one.
Wow, that was a good job there, Chad. That was I know it's gonna be a struggle there. You try to find the words and you can't find them, and all of a sudden things just kind of go off the wheels there.
Well, I do what I can.
So nothing much has changed up front here. We still have Matt Busa with a healthy 2+ second lead, but coming up on the 81 truck of Charles Counts to put him a lap down. He is the last car on the lead lap, that 81 truck, and doesn't look like he's going to be on that lead lap for too much longer.
Yeah, Matt Busa doing a great job of driving away, but I tell you what, him and Patrick Davis have driven pretty much completely away from the rest of the field. Michael Dole, who's currently sitting third in the race, is 5.1 seconds back from the race leader right now. So these two have established themselves towards the latter half of the race as, I guess, the two cars, or the two trucks rather, to beat.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, I wouldn't count out that 88 truck of Michael Duell. I mean, he's shown some strength, although he's now sitting over 5 seconds behind. But we all know that a caution or a little bit of pit strategy, and that can all change. So, but looks like it definitely is between the 34 and the 2 right now. But I think this is Matt's race to lose right at this point in time. But we still got over 50 laps left to go.
I'm not sure what was happening to him here, Trevor, but I just noticed that Daniel Holloway was a little bit off the pace. Looks like, and checking out a replay real quickly here, that 26 truck, he got really loose coming out of 2 and then really loose in 4 again. So he was a bit slow coming down the front straightaway. And he actually did a great job of saving it because he almost spun out. But he manages to save it and continues on with no harm, no foul.
Yeah, I've actually been watching the 26 truck off and on during this race here, and he's been doing a great job. He's currently 1 lap down, the second car truck now, 1 lap down. He's been doing a great job of getting out of the way of these lead lap cars as they go by. So, you can only try to get out of the way so often before your luck runs out and things get a little bit out. So good job from Daniel to make sure that he kept the truck going in the right direction.
Tell you what, to follow up on what you were saying there a little while ago about Andrew Fayesh III in this 77 truck, as you just saw there on your screen, came out of turn 4 a couple laps ago and was just completely sideways. So Andrew's still struggling with that truck. He's currently 6th, but he keeps getting really loose coming out of these turns, so he's got his hands full.
Yeah, and this is really our first really long green flag run that we've had. So this is really showing where people are able to save their trucks and get the tires and keep them underneath them, because as we mentioned, it is fixed setup racing here. So everybody has the same setup to start with. So everybody is just as loose as the next guy, but it's what you do with it that's going to matter. And obviously, it looks like Matt Busa is being able to maintain his tires better than anybody else, and is running away from this field right now.
And we definitely have a long green flag run, a little over 40 laps thus far for this current run, if I'm not mistaken. So this is definitely where we're finding out who has a good tire management underneath them. And thus far, I'm pretty sure that the best one at it is Matt Busa, stretching that lead out to 3.8 seconds right now.
Looks like our leader of the 34 truck is going underneath the 26 of Daniel Holloway. We were just mentioning him. Managed to get around safely, putting Daniel 2 laps down, unfortunately.
Oh boy, Andrew Fayesh III just again came out of turn 4 at a complete sideways. And I tell you what, I saw skid marks all over the front straightaway down through here. So amazing save again by Andrew, but he did lose the position there a lap ago to the 15, so Andrew still is having a lot of fun out there. I think he thinks this is a dirt track, maybe.
Yeah, I was watching that, and he's not only did he have to save it, but then overcorrected a little bit, and he actually did a little dance all the way down the front stretch there across the start-finish line. So he is fighting that truck like nobody's business.
He's doing a good job thus far, at least, of hanging on to it and not backing her in the fence.
Well, that's the thing. Once you get that little bit loose, it's it's hard enough to keep the truck from getting loose. But then once it does, to be able to save it and keep it going straight takes the wheels of a race car driver for sure. And by wheels, I mean hands. Unless he's driving around with little wheels on the ends of his arms. And,
I wasn't going to say anything, but
So I don't know. Maybe that's why I fail at racing, because I don't have little wheels at the ends of my arms. I'm not sure how this really works.
Well, I don't usually little wheels, so I don't know. Maybe we should start doing that.
I'll put little gloves on my little wheels, and we'll see how it works out.
Hell up front, Matt Busa, that 34 machine continuing to pull away. 4.3 seconds now is the race lead over Patrick Davis. About another 3 seconds back to third place man Michael Duell from Patrick Davis. Matthew Wright about 0.3 of a second right now. Oh, we got trouble. And speaking of Matthew Wright, he spins in the middle of the front straightaway. That will bring out a caution. I'm pretty sure he just got really loose and just lost it there, Trevor. But the 13 Matthew Wright bringing out the caution. He was running in fourth.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I mean, we were mentioning how you have to keep the concentration up, even if you're not passing trucks. You just have to keep it going, keep it going. It doesn't take much for it to just snap out, and all of a sudden you're around. Especially with that long green flag run we had.
Yep, and the more that you get loose, the more those tires heat up, and it becomes a little bit more difficult to drive. So I would anticipate, if my smart crew chief brain that I don't have tells me right, we should see most of the leaders, if not all of them, here on pit road.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if anybody stays out from the fact that we've had such a long green flag run. These guys are going to want tires and fuel right now.
And it looks like all of our top runners are coming to the pits, led by Matt Busa and that number 34 machine. Patrick Davis also in, Michael Duell is in, Bruce Knowing is in, Michael's in, Andrew, all of them are in here for what I would think would be 4 tires. We might see a little bit of strategy here, though.
I've said it before where I've said, I imagine I'd be surprised if anybody took 2, but I've been surprised and wrong before.
As have I. But hey, we got some... Man, looks out there for a minute. I thought the 2 was going to get a good run there on the 34 out of the pits, but Matt Busa will win the race off of pit road and retain the lead. 77 Andrew Fayash with an excellent pit stop, though. He's going to gain a couple spots, I do believe, with a 10-second pit stop there. So good work by the 77 crew to gain him a few positions. Here under this caution, we'll have to see if he can keep those tires cooled down enough and not make him angry at him that he can make a charge here for the lead here in the closing laps.
Yeah, I would imagine that the 77 probably motivated his crew from screaming all of the obscenities of how much he was having to fight that truck. So he probably motivated them through his words alone to make sure that they got those tires on the truck as fast as they could.
Yeah, that's a good point there, Trevor. While we're under caution here, I want to throw out another plug real quickly since I did such a great job on the last one. Inside Sim Racing, sponsoring the Thursday Night Real Sim Racing Series. Inside Sim Racing, your first and best choice for all the news and reviews in online motorsports. Join Darren Genji and Sean Cole for the latest and greatest in product reviews, simulation auto racing games for PCs and the Xbox crowd, from steering wheels to full-size racing rigs, updates on popular racing games, and a whole lot more. It's the yellow pages of online auto racing. Inside Sim Racing has it all. Visit them today at www.isrtv.com.
Well done, Mr. Chad.
Absolutely, and they have some fantastic stuff. I've watched several of their videos.
Well, Matt Busa is still up in the lead of this track. Just want to mention the 31 truck of Jeff Barger. Got the lucky dog that on that caution is back on the lead lap. He had just gotten passed to get put down a lap, so he's back on the lead lap there.
Yeah, so Jeff Barger he's had an up and down evening tonight. Trevor, he started that number 31 machine from 9th. I think he might have been one of the people that had to take an EOL, though. If memory serves me correctly. Sometimes it doesn't, though. But he has been up and down, but like you said, back on the lead lap in 12th place. So pace lights are off the top of the car. We're doubling back up. We're going green. It's lap 139. We're coming to get our start 140 here of 175. Trevor, take us green.
All right, pace cars in. Matt Busa waits and waits and waits before he hits The green flag's out. He hits the gas and gets not as good of a jump as we've seen in the past with both the 2 and the 88 being able to maintain with him. But the 88 and the 2 fighting behind him are going to play to his advantage.
Oh,
the 2's
to the
into the
outside
wall a little bit.
Yeah, hard lick by the 2 there. Have to see if that makes any damage to his truck and affects him the rest of the race. But now Andrew Fayesh, the 3rd, taking advantage of that fast pit stop there by his pit crew, up into 3rd now. Taking advantage of that 2 truck hitting the wall.
Yeah, he got quite a jump there, and he's going to have to make sure that he maintains his, gets those tires and keeps them underneath him there and doesn't fight too hard here, so he doesn't end up as loose as he did last time at the end of that long green flag run.
Andrew seems to be very good here on the short runs and on the restarts, but right now he's all over that 36. It looks like the 2 though has some damage. Andrew, though, looking to the inside, looks like he's going to try to move up into 2nd place as they head off into 1.
I wonder if Andrew is sitting there thinking that, as he gets really close to the 88, I'm wondering if he's thinking that he has to get up front and make that move now so he can, the best way to save those tires is to be out front and not having to fight anybody for position.
Well, that's a pretty good strategy if that's what he's trying to do. He's doing a good job at it so far. Restarted, I believe, in the 4th spot. He's already up to 2nd now, and he's got Matt Busa. He's actually running him down there just a little bit, pulled in with a couple of truck links. Filled fairly single file as we start lap 145 here. In fact, I think everyone is single file as I look back through the field here. As they come off at turn number 1, only a 0.3 of a second race lead right now for Matt Busa over Andrew Fayash, the 3rd, and then it's another couple more car links back to the 2 truck of Patrick Davis, who seems fine after making heavy contact with the outside wall there. Truck doesn't seem to be too hurt, so as he's moved back into 3rd and trying to track down Andrew there.
Yeah, it's not really it's not very aero track here, being only 3/4 of a mile long. So as long as he kept his toes straight and the wheels turn in the right direction, he should be okay. As being evidenced by the fact that he hasn't really fallen back and has actually gained spots back from after he had made that contact. So I don't think his truck's hurt too bad at all.
Andrew Fayash, the 3rd, though, his truck is no longer loose, at least for the moment, as he is all over the back of the 34 machine here. As they go down into turn number 1, that time by 1, or well, not even that, a half a truck length back. As Andrew Fayash III has a little bit of something to say here as we get down towards the closing laps here.
Yeah, he took the last corner. He took an interesting line through there, slightly different than Matt did, and tried to get some momentum there as the truck twitches a little bit as they cross the start-finish line. But it looks like he's taking kind of a momentum line through here, so he can actually get the speed on the exit of the corner and see if he can make that move.
And you saw what that little wiggle did. He went from being basically touching the back bumper of the 34 to now he's a truck length back just because of that one wiggle. Caution on the speedway. We have some trucks spinning down here, and it looks like turn 4. It looks like the 69 Bruce is involved, and I'm hearing also the 66 truck is involved as well. Yeah,
the 66 made some pretty good contact with the 69, got on the inside of them and spun them both out.
Yep, so we're going to throw that up here on the replay as Laurel Austin dials that up for us here. Oh, wow, yeah, definitely the 66 gets into the 69, and then the 69... completely out of control, obviously, but sort of repays the favor and gets back in the 66 as they were in the middle of the spin there.
Yeah, some pretty significant damage on both those trucks, I think.
So under caution once again here tonight. Doesn't look like any of our leaders went down the pit lane. Maybe a couple there. I'm thinking that the 13 machine, Matthew Wright, who was in 6th or 7th, somewhere up in there, is on pit road. And actually, Patrick Davis is also on pit road, and Jacob Fife. So never mind, there were some leaders that are taking advantage of this caution here. Jacob Fife looks like he'll win the race off of pit road.
Yeah, actually, a good portion of the back of the field there. Looks like the 34, 77, 88, 4 appear to be the most of the guys who stayed out, and everybody else looks like they came in. So this could be interesting here.
Yeah, and actually, the number 6 machine, Bobby Keith, actually came down pit road as well, and he actually won the race off of pit road because he apparently had a 1.7 second pit stop. Now that's getting it done.
Somehow, I think somebody's stopwatch got broken on that one.
Yeah, you know, that's the crew chief trying to build up the confidence of his pit crew, I think.
Yeah, I think there's some hyperbole in there because I'm just going back on the replay. He did only take right side tires, but he was in there for slightly longer than 2 seconds.
Yeah, on my little chart I have here, it says 7.7 second pit stop, which sounds a little bit more realistic, but nonetheless, give credit for the crew chief trying to build up his team.
I can just see it now on the radio. Way to go, guys! 1.6 second pit stop there on 2 tires. That's amazing.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. That's like a Formula 1 pit stop there. But Jim Fife in that 63 machine is the lucky dog here under this caution.
Well, I'm looking at that 2 truck who was fighting for the lead not that long ago. Because he came in and got those tires, he's going to be restarting in 10th position by the looks of it. So he's going to have some work to do. But we know that he has been not afraid to get a little bit aggressive, shall we say, to make some of these moves. So this is going to make this restart interesting or very short.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see that 2 truck go back up towards the front. He's been pretty fast all night long. Consistently been inside the top 3 once he got there. Remember, he started back in about 6th spot, so he had to pass a few trucks to get up into the top 2 or 3 trucks there, but he's been up front most of the night, so be very interesting, like you said, to keep an eye on him here on this restart.
Yeah, actually, I'm just taking a look back here, and it looks like he actually came down and made a 2nd pit stop, which is probably why he's so far back in the field. So probably getting some of that right side damage fixed that he had incurred when he hit the wall earlier.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea. We're getting down to the closing laps of the race. In fact, here in a couple laps, we're going to be down to 20 to go. So trying to get any last repairs that he can possibly do to have a good run to the finish. As the Ford Mustang pace car peels off, Matt Busa leading them down. Andrew Fayesh is in 2nd. Great start by Matt Busa, and a pretty good start even by Michael Duell, who's going to try and get alongside, and I think he will, of that 77 truck. 77 pinches him just a hair, but Michael Duell is there. And Chance Manning, though, did not get a great restart. He's going to lose about 3 or 4 spots. Oh boy, the 15 made contact with Jacob Fife. They are 3 wide coming out of turn number 4 with the 31, the 15, and the 4. A lot of numbers in that sentence, but hey, they sorted out for the most part.
I've just been watching the 2 truck Patrick Davis here. Because he made that 2nd pit stop, he had to start behind the lapped cars. So he's made his way around almost all of them now.
And Andrew Fayesh, the 3rd, Trevor, has... Oh, Jacob Fife goes around. Big crash on the front straightaway. The 6 is around. The 77 spins. Hard crash for the 6. Boy, the 2 truck driving through there. Inside contact on the inside wall there with the 36 of Jacob Fife. But this all happened in the top 3 trucks, basically. But I was getting ready to say that Andrew Fayesh had lost several spots. And then Jacob Fife got really... Or not Jacob Fife, rather. Michael Duell got really loose there coming out of the turn. And unfortunately, Jacob Fife and Andrew Fayesh were involved in that crash. But I tell you what, that 2 truck did a great job of getting through there, didn't he, Trevor?
Yeah, actually, I was watching from his in car as we were talking there, and he did an awesome job to make it through there and not get any contact.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's going to gain quite a bit of spots there. So maybe he knew something. That's why he did that extra pit stop to get back in the back there. But unfortunately, the 6 truck, that pit crew is going to be a little bit longer on pit road this time.
Yeah, maybe he smelled the trouble brewing and figured it was time to get out of the hornet's nest.
Well, business usually picks up towards the end of the race, and as our colleague, I guess, is okay to say, but he does the broadcasting for Fox there in the NASCAR races, Darrell Waltrip says, cautions breed cautions. But right now we're going to step away for a commercial break. We'll come right back for the remaining laps of the race, so don't go anywhere, folks. We're coming back for an exciting finish.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And welcome back to Richmond Raceway tonight, where the action is picking up here in the closing laps of the race. Working lap 161, getting ready to start 162, and that is out of only 175 laps. And Trevor, we've seen a lot of cautions tonight, but right now, about 10 trucks on the lead lap that are doubling up for the restart here. Things are about to really get crazy.
Yeah, just a little bit of housekeeping. The 69 truck got the Lucky Dog is back on the lead lap here, so he will be the 10th truck. And also the 77 truck, who Vander Vesh got some significant damage on that last caution there. He had not used his reset. He had managed to keep his fenders clean up to that point, so that's the way to do it. You keep it till the end of the race when you really need it, because if he gets another accident now, it doesn't really matter. So he saved it until he needed it, and now he's got a new truck, new tires, and we'll see what he can do with them.
Matt Busa leading the field to the green flag, bringing him down pretty slow there, but he gets a good jump. And that kind of checked up the field there a little bit. Andrew Fash, though, taking advantage of those new tires, jumped the gun there on Chance Manning for about 8th place or so. Got a truck sideways there in the back of the field. He did save it, and we race on into turn 4.
Who doggy that 77 got a run there and just came tearing up through the field.
Yeah, he did. He is trying to get all that he can here, as he knows those laps are winding down. Next time by, we're coming to 11 laps to go. But I tell you, somebody who's picking up the business and going for the lead, that 13 truck of Matthew right to the inside of Matt Busa.
It looks like,
can't quite clear him.
I was going to say, looks like he's going to make it stick, but he doesn't quite. But I think he's going to make it going in turn 1 here. 31 truck is sideways and into the wall.
Hard in the wall. That almost looked like he had a flat tire, but he got some help there, I do believe. And now the 2 truck gets in the back of the 15, but didn't even look like that phased the 15 truck. Is that all you got?
Bring it!
3 wide though into turn 1. Andrew Fash though smartly backs out of that, and they reside only 2 wide, but 77 on the move, 2 truck on the move. Matt Busa though on the move. Oh boy, that was really tight. He almost got in the back of the 13 truck there as they went into turns 3 and 4. Matt Busa looking to the inside again, and I think that he might have a lane. He does. So battle for the lead up here now with Matt Busa side by side. And I tell you what, these guys keep racing like this. Guess who's going to come?
Oh,
boy. Well, they got their quick caution. Wreck on the back straightaway. 31 truck, and I believe the 69 is in the wall. We're going to have to roll the replay on this one and see what happened.
Oh yeah, it looks like the 31 just got a little bit loose, snapped down, and got the 69 as he came off the wall. But man, we were watching that race, and I was expecting a caution. The flagman threw out the yellow. I thought he was just doing it out of anticipation for what we were about to see.
Oh no, big crash there with the 31 and the 69 on the back straightaways, showing here on the replay. The lower Lawson is dialed up for us. I just happened to take a glance there at the back straightaway, Trevor, and saw these guys in the wall. So we are under another caution, and this is going to set up a under 10 lap to go restart. And this is where things really get crazy.
Yeah, and that was, I was about to give a shout out to the 31 truck because he had had an EOL as a start and then had to get the lucky dog and had been battling. He'd managed to work his way back up to 4th position there before things kind of went south for him. And unfortunately, he's now got a beat up truck and lost a lot of those positions. So he had managed to fight his way, and unfortunately, doesn't look like it's going to end the way that he wished.
Yeah, when that first contact with the outside wall that he made there that we called earlier. Really a hard hit, unfortunately, so glad to see he was okay after that one, but the truck wasn't okay, and we found that out there a couple laps later, and that is why we are under caution here. So now that we are down to the remaining laps here, in fact, as they cross the stripe right now, we have 6 laps to go. Trevor, who do you think, man? Who do you think is going to win this race?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be hard to bet against that 34 truck. It's been so strong. But you know what? I don't think that the 2 is going to go quietly into that good night. I think the 2 is going to have to say something about the end of this race, one way or the other, before we are done.
Well, Matt Busa has led 117 laps tonight, so he's definitely been the truck to watch. Tell you what, though, Trevor, I am keeping my eye on the short run king of the night, and that is the driver of the 77 truck, and Andrew Fash III. He's been really good on these restarts. Doesn't appear to have that good of a long run truck, at least from earlier instances, but hey, this is a 5-lap shootout. Well, under a 5-lap shootout, actually. The pace lights are still on, it looks like. So, lucky dog, Charles Counts, goes around the pace car there. Charles has kind of been quiet there, missed a couple of wrecks there earlier tonight, but he gets the lucky dog. Give him a little TV time there. So, the 81 truck currently in 11th.
Yeah, and also we, after that last bit of caution there, we also had Brian Harvey in the 66 truck has pulled his truck into the garage, as well as Bobby Keith, who is driving the 6 truck. Both retired, excuse me, both retired from the race.
Got you all choked up, doesn't it?
I was choking on my own rage.
So, pace car comes around, and I would anticipate, but I have been wrong before, that the pace lights will go off the top, and I do believe they did.
So here we go. We don't have we don't have green flag or green white checkers here, but whatever happens to that next flag, it will end this race. So either we're going to just see the checker, or we're going to see the yellow before that. And I don't know. I mean, we've had some cautions at the beginning. We had some green flag runs. We had another rash of cautions. So I don't know how this is going to end, Chad.
Yeah, this is go for broke here, do or die, if you want to put it that way. And tell you what, Matt Busa been the best truck all night, but he's only got to be the best truck for the last 3 laps here. 3 to go when they cross the line. Here we go, folks. Hang on to your horses. Matt Busa, excellent restart as he's gotten all night long, actually. And he will clear that 13 truck. The 2 truck, though, hanging on the inside. Oh, the 15 gets really loose. That 15 truck is going to wreck it. He is in the outside wall, and caution's out. The race will end.
Whoa. And the 77 looked like he had a run coming on the 2. I think he might have made that move, but the yellow's out, and he's not going to get a chance.
And that means that if he can complete the last 2 laps here under caution, as the field will pick up the pace car down the back straightaway here, that Matt Busa will pick up the victory here at the Richmond Raceway, but he's still got to finish it. You know, crazy things happen in racing, but so long as he can get through this last lap here that we are about to start, white flag will go in the air. Matt Buse is going to pick up the win.
Yeah, and we had documented on some of our previous races here some of the bad luck that Matt has suffered throughout the beginning bit of this race here, or this season, and has only the one victory, being being the past champion, and he's had a rough go of it. So getting that second win in the column is going to feel really good for Matt, I bet.
And it's going to help his wild card chances as well, Trevor. As I think I mentioned earlier, he comes into tonight 15th in the point standings. So Matt Buse doing what he needs to do to try and get the wild card. He was already in a wild card spot coming into tonight, but this is definitely helping his chances to continue to hold down a wild card spot. As Phil will come off of turn 4, checker flag waves, 34 truck. Taking her to victory lane tonight, Matt Buse will win. Matthew Wright, solid run, recovers from a spin there late in the race. Will pick up second place. Patrick Davis comes home in third.
Yeah, that was more interesting than we thought it was going to be, because I mean that race went through several transitions before it ended up ending for us here, between the rash of cautions, the long green flag run, several people pacing the field, and some really aggressive moves out there, and it was definitely a good race to watch, Chad, for sure.
Absolutely, we saw a little bit of everything tonight. I do believe as Matt Buse is going to be one happy camper. I think we're going to try and get our top 3 finishers here tonight down for a quick interview once they get into the pit road here and get unbuckled and get out of the trucks. But Matt Buse, it's going to take a while to get down there to him, because he's going to burn him up here on the front straightaway.
Yeah, well-deserved win by that 34 truck and his team, for sure, to get him out in front. He had the dominant truck, and you know what? I wasn't sure that he was going to make that dominance equate into a victory, but he managed to pull it off, and nobody was able to take that away from him. And that's the only way that anybody else is going to get a win, is if they came up there and they took it away from that 34 truck, but that just did not happen.
123 laps led tonight for that 34 machine, and only 2 pit stops as well, by my count at least, for the 34 machine of Matt Buse, who brings home the checkered flag. And guess what? He did the trifecta here tonight, Mr. Cameron. He led practice, paced it actually, fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, and won the race. So that's a pretty good night at the old racetrack.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're gonna do some things, why not do all the things?
Yeah, just make sure that everyone gets the idea that you came here to conquer and win. And I think now some of our top finishers are down on pit road. Trevor, I think you caught up with the 3rd place finisher tonight, Patrick Davis, who had a wild night tonight.
Yeah, congratulations on that 3rd place finish there, Patrick. It was interesting to watch. You had a really strong truck, and you weren't afraid to stick it into some of those, just the smallest of gap out there. That was definitely some really good driving out there, Patrick.
Thanks, Trevor. I think good brakes is what you really need at Richmond. I was trying to make the best out of that.
Yeah, there was a couple times in there you stuck it in there, and like you were saying, with the amount of braking that you had to do in order to get in there and keep the truck underneath you, for sure. You got some damage on the right side there. You got into the wall in the late stages of the race. Did that affect your truck at all?
I don't think it really affected the truck. I stayed in on that last pit stop and got it fixed up, so I just started in the back, but the circumstances arose that got me back up to the front there and worked out real good in the end.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was definitely interesting to watch there, Patrick, so congratulations. Anybody you want to thank?
I'd just like to thank Integrity for letting me come do this. It's a blast.
All right, that was the driver of the number 2 truck, Patrick Davis. Big congratulations on his 3rd place finish. I believe Chad's caught up with the driver of the 13 truck.
Indeed, I have hustled down here from the broadcast booth to get a word with 2nd place finisher Matthew Wright. Matthew, you had a bit of a wild race there tonight. Spun out even at one point there towards the latter stages of the race, but rebounded for a solid second place Everest. Tell us about that race.
Yeah, it was definitely an eventful race. We got caught up in some wreck early in the race there, and then we spun it out off of turn 4. Just kind of snapped on us and came in, got tires, and strategy kind of played out our way at the end and got back to the front.
Kevin into tonight, 4th in the points. Certainly a good run tonight with 2nd. What do you got to do to run down Michael Duell, who's just pulling away there in the championship standings?
It's going to take a lot at this point, but as long as we stay in the top 10 here and make it all the way to the end, to the chase, I think we're in a pretty good spot.
Well, he's definitely making himself very safe and sound inside that top 10 to get into the chase. Matthew, who makes it happen for that 13 team?
Just got to thank Integrity for coming out, every week here, and ETV for broadcasting our races, and that's pretty much it.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. 2nd place finisher Matthew Wright, who had a good race tonight, rebounded from an incident earlier on and a spin late in the race to get a solid 2nd place finish. I think Trevor has taken his legs and run all the way down to the victory lane to catch up with the dominant truck of the night, Matt Busa in victory lane.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to spend some of our budget here on get some of those little golf carts, so I don't have to be running up and down pit road here. But congratulations, Matt, on that dominating win. It was Chad was mentioning before we came down here to pit road that you kind of did everything. You won the pole, you had the fastest lap, and you led the most laps tonight. So definitely a dominating win by you there, Matt.
Yeah, thank you. It was a lot of fun out here in Richmond. It's one of my favorite tracks. I had a lot of success here over the couple of years.
Yeah, it was. Did you? I mean, as strong of a truck as you had, and with some of those late cautions, did you think that anybody was going to be able to push their way up and take that win away from you?
Yeah, about 2 cautions ago, when Matt right there actually got by me, and then I was able to sneak by him, but he had fresher tires, so I thought he would be able to pull away, but looks like he made a small mistake out of 2. And then if there wasn't that last yellow, I thought maybe Patrick Davis there would have been able to do something, because he was really good on fresh tires, which he had like 40, 50 left fresher tires than me.
Well, I tell you, you're fighting right now to stay in the wild card position, and that seems to be working out pretty good. You had some really bad luck at the beginning of the season for a defending prior champion here, but you seem to have turned things around. So, anything in particular that's just kind of turned things around, or is just Lady Luck decided to stop beating you about the face and neck?
I think it's pretty much just been Lady Luck, and it's weird because every time in this league I have bad luck, like in the beginning of the year, then I'll have great luck, like in other series, DWC and whatnot. And then whenever I started wrecking in DWC, then that's when I'm doing good here. So might not mean good things for this Tuesday's race, but hopefully that turns around.
Only so much good luck to go around, I guess, Matt. But definitely congratulations on a dominating first place finish here. So who makes it happen for the 34 team?
I'd like to thank Nexus Esports and Gale Force, my teams on the official series, and then Integrity for this awesome league, best Saturday night league out there, and you guys for broadcasting this week in and week out.
All right, thanks, Matt. So that was Matt Busa, the driver of the 34 truck, the winner tonight here at Richmond International Speedway, Chad. So we had a great race here tonight. It started off a little shaky, but certainly provided some interesting moments for sure.
Well, that's the way that Richmond is supposed to be there, Trevor. It's supposed to be good, hard, short track racing. It was a little bit more wild than we anticipated, like you said, but I'll tell you what, it was a great race that we saw here tonight. And I can't wait for next week, because I think we're back up here in the booth for Kentucky.
Should be interesting for sure. Just to round out the top 5 here, the 77 truck of Andrew Fayash ended up finishing in 4th spot after his up and down night, and Michael Duell, after getting most of the fenders beat in on that truck, did manage to finish in 5th position.
Yeah, good rebound by both the 88 and the 77 there to recover and get top 5 finishes out of it. Michael Duell will no doubt keep his points lead as the man closest to him in points coming into tonight. Jacob Fife, who was only 12 back, unfortunately finished in 12th with that late race caution there that we had. It involved some of the front runners, so Jacob finished 1 lap down in 12th. So Michael Duell stretching out that points lead just a little bit, but again, we will reset field here eventually when the chase begins in a few weeks.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, I mean, we saw some cautions and we were a little bit wondering how this race is going to play out, but we know that from the previous races that we broadcast here, these guys do go out there and they race hard and they race respectful. It's a little bit harder on a short track to give as much room as maybe you can on the other tracks, but I don't think we saw anything that was too outlandish out there, Chad, but it was some good hard short track racing for sure. So I can't wait to get back up in the booth and see what they can do at a slightly larger track.
Yep, 1.5 miles next week at Kentucky, so tune in for that one, and looking forward to that race, as that's a fun track, a lot of bumps there, so it'll be interesting to see those guys navigate the bumps and the fun of the Bluegrass Stake.
Definitely, and one last time before we head off into that good night, I want to mention that the Integrity Racing League can be found at integrityracingleague.net.com. Is not where you go, it's .net, and this series is brought to you by the Pro Powder and Paint Incorporated, and you can find them at propowderandpaint.com.
Yep, so big thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Laura Lawson down there in the trailer pushing all the buttons. She was feeling a little under the weather tonight, so shout out for her. Hope she gets better over the next coming days. But she does a fantastic job when she's down there in the trailer, and also a big shout out to JD Webb hanging out with us as well. Trevor, any final thoughts or last words that you want to put in there? Not that it's your last words forever, but you know.
Put in some final words before it all ends, which is unfortunate because I'm only 40 years old and I'm not ready for it to all end. But I just want to mention a good drive out there by the 26 truck of Daniel Holloway as well. We didn't speak too much about him tonight, but with only a couple little scrapes and whatnot, I know he was kind of in the back for a lot of the race and had to avoid a lot of those accidents. So a good solid 13th place finish by him. I managed to finish 2 laps down, unfortunately, but definitely with some good driving skills to avoid some of those wrecks as well.
Yep, and I believe that will about do it, to quote Trevor from some of our radio shows, which you can catch out on Monday. But later, from us, we are over and out. So my name's Chad Dalton. He's Trevor Cameron. We will see you guys next week from Kentucky. Have a good night, everyone, and keep it in the fast lane.